We're going to talk about something that pretty much everyone has to deal with at some point: conflict. But what if there was a way to sort things out without the absolute nightmare of a courtroom battle? Well, that's what this is all about. We're going to dive into the power of mediation.
First things first, let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room. The incredible stress you feel when you're stuck in a dispute that just won't end.
I mean, have you ever been there? You're locked in a disagreement, maybe it's with family, a coworker, a business partner, and you just feel like you are hitting a brick wall over and over again. It is exhausting, it is so frustrating, and yeah, it can feel completely hopeless. And look, dealing with that kind of conflict is genuinely hard. For a lot of us, our brains immediately jump to, well, I guess we have to go to court. It feels like the only official way to settle things. But court is public, it's incredibly expensive, and honestly, it often just pours gasoline on the fire. But here's the good news: it's not the only option. So if not a costly, confrontational court battle, then what? Well, there's another path, a process that's actually designed to get people talking and working together. Let's get into what mediation is really all about. So, what is mediation? The simplest way to think about it is it's a guided conversation. It's this completely private, confidential process where a neutral person, the mediator, comes in to help everyone talk through the issues and, this is the key part, find their own solution. It's all about collaboration, not confrontation. And this right here, this is the absolute biggest difference. A judge, they make a decision for you. They decide who's right and who's wrong. A mediator's job is totally different. They're more like a guide or a facilitator. They keep the conversation on track so that you and the other person can build your own agreement. The power stays completely in your hands. And the whole process is built on these three pillars. First, it's voluntary. You're there because you want to be. Second, it's confidential. This creates a safe space where you can be totally honest without worrying it'll be used against you later. And maybe most important of all, self-determination. You, not some outsider, control your own destiny here. Okay, so that all sounds pretty good in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when you're in the room? Let's walk through the actual steps so it doesn't feel like some big mystery. You can really think of mediation as a journey with 4 main stops. It all starts with your preparation. Then you move into the main session. You get into the real negotiation, and ideally, you end up at a final agreement everyone can live with. Let's take a closer look at each one. Good prep is probably half the battle. Before you even walk in the door, you want to be really clear on what your goals are. Get your facts and any important documents together, and spend some real time thinking about creative solutions. Maybe even try to step into the other person's shoes for a minute. It makes a huge difference. So once you're in the session, the mediator will guide the whole thing. You'll usually have opening statements, then a group discussion. But one of the most powerful tools a mediator has is something called a caucus. That's when they have a private, one-on-one chat with you, and then with the other party. It's a chance to be super candid and explore ideas you might not be ready to say out loud to everyone just yet. Now, to really get why mediation is so unique, I think it helps to put it side by side with the other ways people try to solve disputes. Okay, so let's start with arbitration. People sometimes get these two confused, but they are worlds apart. It all comes down to one word: control. In mediation, you are the architect of the final agreement. In arbitration, the arbitrator acts like a private judge, and they impose a binding decision on you. It's really the difference between designing your own house and being told you have to live in a house someone else built for you. And then you compare it to going to court, litigation, and the differences are just night and day. Mediation is private. Court records are public. Mediation is about you controlling the outcome. In court, a judge or jury decides for you. But for me, this last one is huge. Mediation focuses on finding common ground, which can actually preserve relationships. Court is built to be a win-lose battle, and it often destroys relationships for good. So when you pull all of this together, what does it really mean for you? It means you have a way to take back control from the conflict itself and put it back in your own hands. So let's just recap the big wins here. You save a ton of time and money. You can protect relationships that actually matter to you. You can come up with creative solutions that a judge would never even be allowed to order, and the whole time you are in the driver's seat. And the whole thing stays completely private. It's an answer to almost every single downside of a traditional court fight. And don't think this is just for one specific type of problem. Mediation is an incredibly flexible tool that's used everywhere. We're talking about everything from tough divorce and family issues to disputes at work to huge business contract disagreements and even conflicts right in your own neighborhood. It can be adapted to almost any situation where people just need to find a way to move forward.
And that really brings us to the most important question you can ask yourself. When you're in the middle of a conflict, what do you actually want? Is your goal to win the fight, which, let's be honest, usually leaves everyone feeling broken anyway? Or is your real goal to solve the problem so that everyone can finally move on? If it's the latter, the mediation is designed just for you.